on 8 out of 10 Cats, Little Britain's Got Talent, David Walliams. Best of Britain, Fern Britton. And their team captain, Jason Manford. And facing them tonight, hooray for Holly Walsh. Not just an in-betweener, Greg Davies. And their team captain, John Lott. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, the average sofa will witness 300 arguments, over 1,000 cuddles and 1,500 spillages? An argument that leads to a cuddle that leads to a spillage. That is a great Saturday night in. Only 20% of us can remember the name of the first person we kissed. I can't believe anyone could forget the name Arkayla. The average golfer spends £2,000 a year on their hobby. No wonder, with so little money left over, they have to steal their clothes from the bins behind the circus. It's a joke about golfers dressing like pimps. And, according to research, the average household eats 8.4 kilograms of sausages a year. Surely that's bollocks. And, of course, lips and arseholes and eyelids. But mainly bollocks. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've asked the British nation what stories they've been discussing this week. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. Jason, David, Fern, what have the nation been talking about?
Go on, Dave.
They've been talking about a footballer called either Terry John or John Terry.
No one is quite sure.
No. And what he's done is he's had sex with a lady.
It's like most of these sort of stories. I read them and I think, I've got my own problems. Do you know what I mean? I read it, I thought to myself, like the radiator in our bathroom won't turn off, so it's dead on. It's really hot all the time.
It does seem bizarre how big it... I mean, it's just been absolutely...
Both.
Everywhere, yeah.
Both.
And he tried to get a gagging order, didn't he? But she said she wasn't into the kinky stuff. Fern, you're a married woman. What do you think of John Terry's antics?
Well, I think that she knew that that's what he does.
Do you think he's a role model? That's the thing. That's what they keep going, don't they? They keep going, he's not a role model. And I think, hold on, he's on 170 grand a week and he shagged a French underwear model. He's a role model, isn't he?
I mean, it's just, he's done a terrible thing and it was my husband, I'd kill him and all of that stuff. But it is the World Cup year and I think we're all hoping...
Hang on. If you listen carefully, you can hear Emmeline Pankhurst turning in her grave.
I feel sorry for that girl, although she did allegedly sleep with a number of the Chelsea... Like, how many footballers do you have to have sex with before you become an official mascot? Let's see.
In my case, it was 6.
Well, they're kicking off anecdote about him, like, losing the England captaincy. And, but you're like, well, who are you going to give it to? Who else is it? You're going to give it to Steven Gerrard? Steven Gerrard, he punched the DJ the other week. Then you've got Wayne Rooney. He likes to have a little play with grannies every so often, you know.
He didn't know they were grannies, did he? To be fair, in Liverpool, a granny's about 38.
The only reason I think we should question whether he should play for England at all is that he has had sex with so many women, and apparently, something I read, he had sex with somebody on crutches in a toilet.
Yeah.
If he'll have sex with anyone, and what I'm concerned about, in terms of his football career, is he'll be running down towards goal, and maybe the wind will blow, and a linesman will show a little bit too much leg, and Terry will be on him like a tiger, pumping him full of his evil seed.
But also, if you want to have sex with someone in a toilet, it's much more room to have sex with someone in a disabled toilet. So someone with crutches gets the front of the queue.
Yeah. Think on, Terry.
They're all right, them disabled toilets. You've got all them handles and that, so you can do, you know, and then... you know, a little CD player and some candles and that. It's quite romantic.
Candles?
Yeah, candles.
I've never been in one with candles.
No, you've got to bring your own candles, you weirdo.
Sean, you're a Chelsea fan. Yeah. Does it annoy you?
I can't really comment on it because, as they say, people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, you know? I mean, the reason I mean, it's not quite the same as John Terry, but I was round a friend of mine's house and he had to go to pick something up from the post office, you know, like you do with those cards, and while he was out, I had a bite of his toast. Let's come out now.
What you don't know is that 4 other people on this panel also had a bite of that toast, so...
I had my bite in a disabled toilet.
To be honest, if he comes back from South Africa with the World Cup, I think he can sleep with most of our missuses. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone will have any
I think if he comes back from South Africa the World Cup, he'll have nicked it.
Let's have a look and see whether John Terry is one of the most talked about things this week. Of course he is, of course. Yes, the tabloids have reported that John Terry cheated on his wife with a teammate's girlfriend. Vanessa Peroncel fell for Terry when she first saw his tackle, and she loved it when he got it in the box. She was amazed by his ball control, especially when she saw him dribble around the goal mouth. And then shoot and score. She was incredibly impressed that he could shoot not once, not twice, but 3 times in 90 minutes, and she loved it when they changed ends at half-time. But what really impressed her was when he'd finished playing football, he took her home and fucked her. OK, Sean, Holly and Greg, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Kraft? Kraft have bought Cadbury's. The big American cheese manufacturing company have bought our English chocolate company. It's a sorry state of affairs. Pretty much every English business is now in foreign hands. Soon, there'll just be, like, fishermen's friends left. No one's going to buy that, are they?
They're not going to mix the cheese and the chocolate together, though, are they? They're not going to...
Oh, I hope so.
It's not like a Cadbury's...
I hope so.
Cadbury's, like, cream cheese egg.
Yeah.
Something like that. It tastes better, actually, to be honest.
Pint and a half of Dairy Lee go into every bar.
Whisper will definitely change, because they can't fucking whisper, can they, Americans? And they can't say curly-whirly, can they? Try saying curly-whirly in an American accent.
Curly-whirly.
Curly-whirly.
I want a curly-whirly.
It works.
Curly-whirly.
I love the curly-whirlies.
Yeah.
It works. I like it better now.
Do you? You're really stupid.
Yeah.
No, but I tell you who's going to suffer the worst, the Oompa Loompas. They haven't got transferable skills.
That's it.
I've heard that Cadbury's have got their own town. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Apparently White Lightning Cider have got their own town. No houses, just a river of piss.
I think White Lightning's town is Glasgow. Let's have a look and see whether Kraft's takeover of Cadbury's is one of the most talked about things this week. It is. Yes, this is the news that American company Kraft has completed its takeover of Cadbury's. This time next year, the workforce will be half the size, or as Kraft are calling it, fun size. Cadbury's share price soared for a few minutes, then crashed and felt a bit depressed, and then reached for another dairy milk and felt much better. Josephine, again, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, I've been very interested to hear about Jordan and getting married to Alex.
Alex something. I never thought there would be 2 people who were 2 dacking down market to get married in Vegas.
It is extraordinary, isn't it? I imagine the Elvis Presley impersonator that married them went, "This is bad. This is a new low."
They didn't write their own vows, but they did do some colouring in.
You're engaged, David. What do you think about Vegas?
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, I think if the mood is romantic, then you can get married anywhere.
That's lovely, that.
Oh,
Disabled toilet with some, like, candles and that.
Is she Jordan or Katie Price now? Because I remember she was Jordan and then she went, "No, I'm a bit classy now, I'm Katie Price." But now she's married a cage fighter.
I think
I'm
she's gone
suspicious.
back.
She's back to the...
I'm interested in...
Boobs and that.
Well, who isn't?
Tell us
you know,
more.
they are. They're
Tell us more.
fascinating.
I love them.
There you are.
I think that's why he married her. When he can't get to the gym, he can just go...
I just can't believe I found myself going, oh, they've got married the other day. Oh, they've got married. And when I sat down and thought about it, I'm as interested in them getting married as I am in watching a dog being repeatedly kicked in the balls. And then the dog being sick and then being kicked in the balls. So it's just That's actually how interested I am in it.
That sounds interesting, though.
Not the last, is it?
I think it might.
No. The only man that's going to be in her life forever is an ITV2 cameraman. Let's face it.
I think it's quite sweet, though. I think it's a sweet story.
In a weird way, she's quite romantic, isn't
Yeah, I
she?
think so. Like she said, I love Alex because I can feel 100% myself around him, which is weird because she's only 87% herself. So.
Did you hear his mum said that Alex had met his intellectual equal in Jordan?
His own mother says that.
Who needs enemies, eh?
Well, she's the one that dropped him on his head.
Jordan has also said that this time she's married for love. I think, what did she marry Peter Andre for? His singing ability? What?
That's so hurtful.
It is hurtful, yes.
That's very hurtful. Peter's a very nice
Peter's very nice,
person.
yeah. A bit simple, but nice, yeah.
But it's changed now, Alex, hasn't it? Because Stephen Baldwin helped him find God in the Big Brother house. I thought, these Big Brother tasks are getting a bit hard.
How did he find him?
He found God. He was in the diary room. And we met Stephen Baldwin last week, of course. Well, I can't help thinking, if he's going to heaven, I might leave it.
Do you think they really have got married, though? Do you think... Because Jordan is a bit of a tricker?
No. She's an honest girl. She's worried, I think. I think that's why. She's worried, because not only is she having to compete with him for who's the most famous, but she's having to compete for who's the most orange. And now with all these unemployed Oompa Loompas knocking about, she's knackered.
Right, let's have a look and see whether Katie Price marrying Alex Reid is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the news that Katie Price has married Alex Reid in a secret ceremony in Las Vegas. It was a secret ceremony with just the sun, the star, the mirror, OK, hello, grazia, He'd Take a Break, TV Quick and Puzzler magazine present. Winning Celebrity Big Brother and marrying Jordan, Alex Reid can't remember a more exciting week or the last 3 digits of his telephone number. Join us after the break when we'll be finding out what else is in our top 5. Welcome back. We're trying to guess the most talked about things this week. OK, Sean's team to guess. What else has the nation been talking about?
What about MP's expenses?
They've all been told today that they have to pay back, like, is it £80 million?
No.
£800 million?
No, £80.
£80.
I think I'd be a lot more sympathetic to MPs if they claim for things like problem hair shampoo.
Or if they were just honest and claimed for, like, a rent boy and a gimp mask. You go, fine, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I can explain that. I'm a Lib Dem.
They rarely give receipts.
What, rent boys? I'm sure...
I mean, not on, they'll write a quick one, but not an official
Not
one.
like
Heading note paper.
like a proper paying-in book.
Yeah. One man, he claimed MP, he claimed for a duck island. No, ducks can swim, they don't need an island.
Yeah, that was the problem with that.
Yeah, it's like buying a ladder for a magpie, isn't it?
Or an
Mental, isn't it?
Or an aqualung for his koi carp. You know, there's all sorts of things.
Yeah. Well, this could go on and on.
Or like a spade for a worm. Or it's like buying... Wait a minute. No. I'll come back to you.
So, Fern, it transpired last week that you were the foremost political journalist of our times. That interview with Tony Blair, you got him to admit more than the inquiry.
Yeah.
You got Tony Blair to admit that he would go in regardless of weapons of mass destruction.
Yes. I think I was the only person who thought to ask that question. Actually, would you still go in if you knew there were no WMDs? And he went, yes, but I'd have to think of a different argument.
Nice.
And then he shared his recipe for lemon meringue pie.
He did. And we did some soft furnishings.
Have you met loads of politicians, Fern?
Yes.
Have you met George Osborne?
No. Oh, this is like the Chilcot Inquiry. Go on, give me another.
I'd just like to... I don't know. I've never actually seen George Osborne, because if he's on telly for, like, for 1 second, I react in the same way as when I see a cat shitting on my lawn. I just go, hey, hey, shit! Get out of it! Go on! Go on!
Your life is just full of naughty animals.
No, but they've got till the end of the month to pay it back, haven't they?
They've got to the end of the
They
month,
haven't got long, which means my MP has had to get a second job in order to pay back her expenses. So she's got a job as a cleaner, so I've had to hire her. And ironically, I get to claim that back as an expense, so...
I'd love to hire my MP. I don't even know who my MP is.
Why don't you Google it?
I should Google it.
Yeah. Have a little Google. Have a little Google. We'll talk amongst ourselves. You have a little Google. Jimmy, will you Google me while you're there as well?
It says you're engaged to a girl. That can't be right, can it?
It's like getting a sunbed for an Oompa Loompa.
OK, let's have a look and see whether MPs' expenses are one of the most talked about things. Yes, this is the news that MPs have been told to repay £1.1 million worth of expenses. With its upper and lower houses, archaic terminology and ancient rules, it can be difficult to understand how Parliament actually works. But if you imagine a pig fucking another pig while stealing everything it can get its piggy little hands on and stuffing its piggy pig face with stolen pig food, it all becomes a little bit clearer. OK, fingers on buzzers, one more thing to get. What else did the nation be talking about? David?
President Obama has discontinued moon landings, which is very bad news for clangers. I'm lonely up there.
They're not stopping everything.
Drill for a woodpecker. Sorry, Holly, it just came to me. I just had to get it out.
Go on, Holly.
No, I was just saying they're not stopping everything, because they're still going to keep the idea of, you know, private travellers into space.
Space tourism and that.
Yeah, space tourism, that's going to...
Stelios, he's going to do easy orbit. He doesn't actually take you to the moon, he takes you to the other side and you've got to get a bus over the other side.
Did we ever go to the moon?
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you know?
Because they told us and they showed us.
Well, I know, but you know how satellites can read a newspaper of a man walking along the street in Hawaii?
Oh, yeah.
Why can't we see the flag and the tyre marks and the golf ball and everything they've left up there? And somebody said to me, oh, because it's on the dark side. Well, it's not one... Is there one side that's always dark that we never see?
I think it's really sweet that you think any of us six are going to be able to answer that question.
To be honest, there was only three people who actually went there, so they could have come home and just said anything they wanted. When somebody goes, yeah, but how come the flag is waving but there's no wind on the moon? They go, yeah, there is wind. Just do it. There is wind on the moon. Oh, there isn't. You go, have you been? No. Well, shut the fuck up then.
Well, I can tell you, Obama cancelling the moon mission is not one of the most talked about things.
Fuck's sake.
I'm glad.
It's not one of the most talked about there, but this is the news that Barack Obama has cancelled plans for a manned mission to the moon. We shouldn't scoff. The nearest Britain's got to a space programme is the Oblivion ride at Alton Towers. In America, they're called astronauts. In Russia, they're called cosmonauts. And in Britain, they're called balloonists. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing. Oh, yes.
Oh, the Pope, the cheeky, interfering Pope, he's coming over to Britain and he's criticised the Equality Bill. He said it's an infringement of religious freedom. Basically, he's saying he doesn't like the extension of gay rights and equality for women. That's what he said. He's interfering. I don't think anyone should take any notice of him. You know, those are the laws in this country. I go to America. I don't like the death penalty, you know, but I still go there. I don't expect to change it. You know, I think the Pope should just shut the fuck up.
No, the Pope doesn't approve of homosexuality unless it's between a consenting adult and a choir boy. Then it's all right.
If anything, gay people should be priests because, essentially, what is confession other than a bit of a gossip? You know what I mean? They'd be good at it. They love a bit of a gossip.
Fern, would you like to interview the Pope?
No, I wouldn't want to interview the Pope.
Why wouldn't you interview him?
No.
Is there a bit of history?
Yes.
He cancelled last minute on This Morning once.
But I think you're right, though. When you're saying about the paedophile priests, I mean, how come they are treated with some kind of clemency? That's what I would ask him about, yes.
Why start going and oh, we don't want gay people doing this? You go, well, why don't you get people to stop bumming choir boys first?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't start going around to the neighbours going, can you sort your garden out if my house is on fire?
Yes. Exactly.
Sort your own house out first.
Yes.
It'd freak him out, though, if you did, wouldn't it?
It would.
Say, your clematis is coming over my fence. You'd be going, your house. Go, never mind about that.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, this is the news that the Pope has attacked plans for new equality laws in Britain. The thing to remember about Pope Benedict XVI is that as boss of every Catholic priest in the world, he is effectively king of the pedos. So those were the most talked about stories this week. But in other news, the Oscar nominations have been announced. Guy Ritchie's film Sherlock Holmes has been nominated for Best Art Direction, which is another way of saying it is possible to take a nice picture of a turd. Stevie Wonder is to headline Glastonbury. Good news for the crowd, bad news for a performer with an acute sense of smell. And the first 3D Premier League football match has been shown on TV. I watched the Chelsea game in 3D with my girlfriend. At one point, John Terry tried to fuck her. So at the end of that round, Sean, Holly and Greg have 3 points. Jason, David and Fern have 2 points. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. Jason, David and Fern, your turn first. What do you like the look of?
We'll go for this one who looks like he's in Baywatch.
You've picked the man sitting by the pool. Here is a clip of him in action.
Before you start watching my video, I just want to say a few words. It's just a demo. I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not. I'm just a middle-class guy trying to express myself.
I'm not the typical rapper that you'll meet. I don't live in a box, nor was I raised on the street. Just because I'm not from the project doesn't mean that I can write million-dollar checks. I get up every morning and make my own bed. I'm down to earth, I don't have a big head. I have to work hard every day if I want the money to go out and play.
Yeah, that was what rap music would sound like if I did it. This average homeboy at Denny Blaze. And apparently that was found in the drawer of someone at MTV when they moved offices. OK, your question. In a poll to find the best thing about the 80s, the Rubik's Cube came second. What came top?
Top of the
Disco
Pops.
dancing, Top of the Pops, Dallas.
Seeing Boy George on Top of the Pops and thinking, oh, there's a career I could nick.
One of the best things about the 80s is we didn't have all those let's bring back shows from the 80s shows. Shitty shows. They go, let's get them all back together again. They were just on. Best thing about the 80s?
It was Karen Powell.
Karen Powell?
Yeah.
Who was she?
It's the girl I got off with. She let me do everything.
Jimmy,
Yes.
can you give us a clue?
I can give you a bit of a clue. Yeah, it was a televisual event for most people.
Oh! Live Aid! Live Aid!
I'm going to claim for that. I'm going to look a right dick on the claim form, aren't I? How did the injury happen? I just got hit by someone being a bit overly camp. You just like that skin because it's like the ball bag skin, don't you?
It's Live Aid, Jimmy.
That's the right answer. The right answer. Yes, in a poll to find the best thing about the 80s, Live Aid came top. Who can forget the haunting skeletal face, the dirty rags, the flies around the mouth. Bob Geldof could have had a bath. Sean, Holly, Greg, what do you like the look of?
The alien thing.
You want the Holly? Yes, Holly's chosen the alien.
OK.
Please.
You've gone for the picture of the alien. Here is a clip of Patrick Moore talking to a man who can genuinely speak alien.
Mr. Bernard Byron from Essex moves in a realm of the unknown which makes it very difficult for us to disprove him. And yet he has the charm, the cheerfulness and the courage which is common to all independent thinkers. How many languages can you speak?
I can speak altogether 3 of the space languages. One is Venusian, the second is Kruger, the planet Kruger 60b, and Pluto.
How did you learn these languages?
These languages have been a gift sent from me from the actual people by rays.
What about Plutonian? What does that sound like?
Plutonian is
What does that mean, actually?
That means, how are all you? I am very pleased to see you this afternoon.
What I like about that is it makes up that aliens have a concept of our hours, like they have before and afternoons.
I used to be able to speak alien, but I've got my bottom teeth grew back. OK, here is your related question. Do the majority of our studio audience believe in extraterrestrials?
What's your definition of an extraterrestrial?
Well, terrestrial is like BBC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Extraterrestrials like Men and Motors, UK Living. Have I misunderstood this question?
Aliens, basically aliens.
What I don't understand about aliens is they travel millions of light years. They never come and meet the president or anything, do they? It's like, oh no, I'm going to hang out with some rednecks and have sex with them in the night.
Maybe they're more like you than you think.
Looking at this picture, why don't you get fat aliens? I mean, they can eat anything they want, can't they? They're aliens.
Jabba the Hutt, he was fat.
Yeah.
He wasn't an alien.
He was?
He wasn't.
What was he?
He wasn't real.
So you mean real
Talking about
aliens?
real ones, like this one
real
here.
ones. It is fun when people do spot aliens, though. Like what I like about... There was something a while back in Dudley, where apparently Dudley is like a hotspot in this country for UFO activity, right? Somebody rang up to say they'd seen a UFO, and they went, what's it like? And they went, it looks like a Dorito. And they now, when describing shapes, who gets to Dorito before triangle?
Do the majority of our studio audience believe in extraterrestrials? Yes or no, Sean?
I don't think they do. I think they're quite a rational bunch.
OK, what do you think? What are you going to go with? Yes or no?
Oh.
I think they do.
I think they do.
There's a lot of space out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go true then.
OK, I can tell you the answer is yes. 54% of our audience said they believe in extraterrestrials. Robbie Williams, Uri Geller, Krista Berg, Gloria Honeyford, David Icke, Danny Dyer, Howard from the Halifax ads. They all believe in aliens. Can they all be wrong? I don't believe in aliens, but then again, it's no surprise, because I also don't believe in gnomes, fairies, trolls, orcs, goblins, Jesus, unicorns, dragons, mermaids, wizards, werewolves, or meerkats.
I went to the zoo recently, and I did think someone should tell the meerkats at the zoo that everything's fine. All the other animals are locked up. Because they're there again. They say, quick, there's no worry about it. You're all locked away. No one's coming for you. Just relax, enjoy yourself.
Jason, David and Fern, what do you like the look of?
Married couple.
Oh, OK, you picked the bride and groom. Here is your question. 7% of British men think what is important for a happy marriage?
Heterosexuality.
Well, let's see, shall we, David? Let's see how it works out.
My dad always says that finding somebody... I mean, he's not the most romantic bloke. He says it's finding somebody that, when you're old, is going to wipe your ass. That is basically marriage.
Fern, what do you think? You're a married lady. Come on, what's the secret?
Not wearing socks in bed.
Is that the most important one?
Yes. Well, it's right down here, isn't it? 7%.
It's quite rare in this country. It's very common in America.
Lobotomy. You lobotomise her, and you train her to do simple tasks around the home, and everyone's happy. She doesn't know any better. You're out having the time of your life with John Terry.
Is that the answer? 7% of British men think not being John Terry is important for a happy marriage.
Fake breasts, good teeth.
OK, it's a kind of contract.
Oh, prenup.
Prenuptial agreement.
Is the right answer. Yes, 7% of British men think signing a prenup is important for a happy marriage. I didn't really understand my prenup, but then it was written in Vietnamese. By a sobbing father. Oh, Mr. Jimmy, why you take my little girl away? So, at the end of that round is 3 points for Sean's team, 5 points for Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Most common reason to wake up in the night.
I know what wakes me up in the night. Those rumble strips on motorways.
Is it John Terry's erection?
Is it reason to wake up in the night? Is it because you're a badger? and just saw it. It's like getting highlights for a badger.
I tell you, it's weird. Well, you got a dog, and sometimes he makes like a weird... It's only happened like once or twice in its whole life, but sometimes he makes a weird noise where it yawned, but its mouth moved in a certain way, and it went, hello. That will freak you out, man. Hello. What the fuck is that?
Waking up thinking you need a really giant piss, but then discovering when you get to the toilet you only need a thimbleful, and then catching sight of your bloated middle-aged carcass in the mirror of the bathroom and thinking, what happened to that young lad, that Shropshire boy, so full of hope?
Oh, it's not full of hope, sorry. Oh. Needing the toilet is the right answer. Yes, the most common reason to wake up in the night is needing the toilet. I hate creeping around in the dark trying to find the way to the loo. It's bad enough in your own home, but when you try not to wake up a family of strangers, it can be very stressful. Top thing that makes Brits joyful.
Is it when you get, like, a fresh jar of Nescafe and you put your finger through the foil? That's quite
nice.
But I'm banned from Tesco, but it is fun.
Tomato ketchup. No, I mean, it's good with everything, even sex.
Is it Dyson hand dryers?
Yes,
I love
the
them.
new ones.
I love them. Like, you know when you have to use the old ones, it just feels like you're being breathed on by a perv and you feel ripped off? Is it seeing a drunk person headbutt a self-checkout machine? I saw a round of applause from a queue when that happened. It was a heartwarming moment.
I wonder if he scanned. When he headbutted, it went... Beep.
It had to steady itself, and then there was an awkward pause before it went, unexpected item.
Is it a good old-fashioned illegal cockfight?
Being paid.
It's when you don't pay for something.
You get something for free.
It's the right answer.
Free stuff.
Yes, the top thing that makes British people joyful is getting something for free. OK, worst fashion faux pas.
Shooting Gianni Versace.
It's actually number 2.
Oh.
Is it sandwich board? You know, golf sale, or as we call it, the plywood poncho.
Oh, I tell you what it is. Is it tracky bottoms, but with shirt and shoes? Something in Manchester, I've seen quite a few blokes with tracky bottoms, like they're ready for anything. Like Jim, job interview. Like whatever happens, they're ready.
Socks and sandals.
Socks and sandals is number 2.
Is it walking into millets?
As if you pronounce it Mies. It's all right then.
It's Millets.
Mies.
It's a unisex garment.
High heels.
I would associate it with the 80s in Liverpool.
Track suits. Shell suits.
Shell suit is exactly the right answer. Yes, the worst fashion faux pas is the shell suit. I'll tell you who's going to be gutted when they hear that. Snails. Surely the worst fashion faux pas is when a ball slips out of your bikini. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Holly and Greg have 4 points, but our winners are Jason, David and Fern. They've got 7 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.